in the middle of a vast, scorching desert where no creature should survive alone, a starving German shepherd staggered beneath the relentless sun. He had no pack, no human, no hope left in his eyes. But when a pride of lions, rulers of that arid land, encountered the weakened dog, no one could have predicted what would happen next, not even the lions themselves. The desert stretched endlessly in every direction, an ocean of blistering heat and silence. Nothing moved until a shadow limped across the dunes. Thin, his ribs outlined beneath dusty fur, the German shepherd's. Cracked paws bled onto the hot earth. Every breath came with effort. Once, he had been strong, his body sculpted by training, his eyes sharp with purpose. Now, he was hollow, emptied by hunger, heat, and abandonment. No collar, no name, only scars and silence. Each step was slower than the last, until the sand beneath him seemed to melt away. He collapsed. From the crest of a dune, they came 7 lions, 3 adult females, 2 lanky cubs, and a regal male with a black-tipped mane like fire at dusk. They didn't charge. They didn't roar. They just watched. Predators meeting prey. The dog didn't resist. He simply closed his eyes, ready for the end. But then, the unthinkable happened. One of the lionesses slowed, her ears perked in curiosity, rather than aggression. She approached the collapsed dog, sniffed gently, then lay down beside him. No claws, no blood, just stillness. And that stillness changed everything. No one knew the dog's name. Perhaps once, it had been shouted across a park, whispered beside a warm hearth. But now, it was gone, dissolved beneath the weight of heat and loss. He was a ghost of discipline and war, left behind after the fighting stopped, trained, used, and discarded. He had wandered from city to mountain until the world became nothing but dunes and silence. By the time the lions found him, he had stopped looking for food. He couldn't chase, couldn't smell. He had passed vultures, circling bones and clouds that promised storms, but delivered nothing. Once a warrior, now a shadow. But the lions did not attack. Instead, they surrounded him, slowly, gently. The male stayed back, golden eyes narrowed, gauging the stranger. The lionesses circled, uncertain. One cub, curious and fearless, padded closer, tapping the dog's side. He flinched, but didn't growl. Her mother made a low chuff warning, reassurance, or something in between, and lay down beside him. One by one, the others followed. They didn't touch, didn't trap, just existed around him, forming a silent circle of presence. The sun fell. The night turned cold, but the dog survived. At dawn, he opened his eyes. The lions were still there. Later, the same cub brought him a scrap of dried meat from a kiln. He sniffed, then ate. His stomach stirred back to life. That day he followed them, not out of trust, not yet, but because purpose, even borrowed, could carry a broken body forward. They moved through ravines and dunes to a hidden waterhole. The lions drank first. When they stepped back, the shepherd approached and drank deeply. Something old, stirred, not obedience, not training. Instinct. The male lion watched him carefully. When a sandstorm rolled in, the lions took shelter beneath a rock overhang. The cubs curled into their mothers. The shepherd stood in the wind, letting it sting his face. Then, reluctantly, he crawled beneath the ledge. Not beside them, not yet, but close enough to feel warmth, close enough to matter. Far away, a group of wildlife trackers followed the trail. They noticed strange prints beside the lion's canine, limping. "That's not right," one murmured. "No wild dogs out here." But something told them to keep following. They weren't tracking a predator or prey. They were tracking something new. Days blurred, blazing mornings, breathless afternoons, frozen nights. The shepherd grew stronger. His legs steadied, his wounds healed. He studied the lions, how they hunted, how they moved, how they lived. He kept his distance, at first, but one evening, a cub tumbled to him and flopped by his side. She nipped his ear playfully. He almost snapped, but didn't. She rolled over in trust. Hesitant, he licked her ear. Her mother watched not with suspicion, but something close to pride. Trust began to build, slowly. One lioness pushed a strip of gazelle hide toward him. The cubs slept against his side. At night, his dreams shifted from cages to skies. But the old male lion remained distant. His eyes still measured. He tolerated, but did not welcome, and the desert was not without danger. Hyenas circled one night, laughter echoing in the dark. The pride formed a protective line. The shepherd limped forward to stand with them, teeth bared, a deep growl rising from memory. The hyenas paused. A dog? Beside lions. Confused, they circled. The lions lunged. The shepherd followed, chasing them into the dark, for the first time. The old lion chuffed in approval, but the peace would not last. The trackers were closing in. They found signs kills left untouched, mixed prints, patterns. They didn't understand. One night, a camera flash blinked from a distant ridge. The shepherd's ears twitched. He rose, padded to the edge, saw them. 2 men, cameras, notebooks. One held a tranquilizer rifle. He remembered that sound, cages, collars, commands. Fear gripped him, not of death, but of being taken. Beside him, the old lion rose, silent and powerful. Together, they stared into the dark. The shepherd copied his growl, a soft echo of the lion's thunder. The men captured the silhouette of lion and dog, side by side, and they didn't approach. Not yet. But the desert was shifting. The trackers planned their next move. By morning, an engine buzzed in the distance. The pride moved early. The sun rose hard and high. They paused in the shade of rocks. The shepherd paced, uneasy. Then the truck appeared. 2 men stepped out. Cameras, binoculars, a rifle. They whispered, snapped photos, called in backup. "This is real," one said. A German shepherd, living with lions. The shepherd stiffened. He stepped forward to shield the cubs. The rifle aimed not at lions, but at him. His heart raced, but he didn't run. Behind him, the cubs trembled. He took another step, drawing the threat away. From behind, the old lion let out a roar so deep it shook the earth. The tracker hesitated. For a moment, he lowered the rifle. The shepherd didn't move. He wouldn't run, not this time. Not from the only family he had ever chosen. The sun burned above. The wind kicked up sand. And the desert, ever ancient, held its breath.